No. Okay.
But, and that's something, you know, I very much like to hear an author say, because that's the one thing I'm searching in the things I read. I'm searching for this testimonies of existential loneliness. So, is that something you still relate to, or?
Well, yeah. If I understand your question, this is the stuff that we were talking about 2 questions ago. There's something painful about being stuck in a body and a consciousness that can't ever except through sort of conversation, can't ever be inside anybody else's. And there's a magic about. Except, see, I don't know that much about music. People who do say that there is a purity with which the composer's emotional state can be felt by the listener that can't be approached by anything else either. There's probably most kinds of art have this sort of magical thing of, for a moment, there's a kind of reconciliation and communion between you and me that isn't possible in any other way.
I don't hate cliffhangers. Okay? They are a tool in storytelling, and like any other tool in storytelling, they can be good, they can be bad, they can be meh. There are great works of art which use cliffhangers that I and my friends adore. Across the Spiderverse's ending, Spectacular Spider-Man Season 2's ending, The Boys Season 1's ending, Breaking Bad Season 2 Episode 1's ending, and Zack Stone's ending. Maybe you don't count the second to last two, but either way, they're all still
Get in.
good. I don't hate cliffhangers. But
who will survive the Battle of Who HQ? Who will rescue Ron? Who will get to eat those grapes?
I don't want to talk about it, man. Roll the intro. Hello there. My name's Adam, and you're watching Kabuki, a show that's still going. Somehow. For better or worse. Last episode, I went over a few of my issues and worms with the previous installment that precursed the present picture. But today, you know what? I'm going to trust in myself for once that you'll notice the improvements. So, for our third ever topic of discussion, we're actually going to be trying something a bit more traditionally seen as creative, but still in line with previous episodes. I at least hope so. We're not analyzing. This time, we're going to be writing a first draft of a script for one episode for a second season of...
They were more than just some famous names. This is the Who What Show.
For those who don't know, created by Brian Clark and directed by Dan Beers, it's a sketch comedy show based on the Who Was book series published by Penguin Books. Other than the cliffhanger, so many additional moments in the show become part of my circadian rhythm.
It could be decades.
And
it took decades.
It's part of my unconscious lexicon.
Don't sell yourself short. Keep a low profile. Stay in school and get buried with a lot, and I mean a lot of gold.
Carpets the floor of my brain, coming from the superior version of the TED Talk, the Tut Talk, if I may say so myself. And I theorize to this day that Ron is a future version of Principal Ken Dwight from middle school, the worst years of my life, who got therapy and learned to love himself. OHQ being the physical representation of the off-screen growth he went through, finding his faith in God and being baptized as Ron. And losing his brain. What I'm trying to say here is that the show meant a lot to me as a kid. The cliffhanger kept me sleepless. For weeks. Now that the show is cancelled, don't even think I knew of the concept. So, I'd rewatch the show endlessly. Waiting and waiting until one day when I just... gave up. And looked for the next thing. Because when you're 9, interacting with an art piece and blind, starving consumption are the exact same concept. But I never moved on. I don't think I can. At least... not yet.
Am I really gonna defile this grave for money? Of course I am!
To start off, let's do a quick summary of HQ's codes, conventions, formats, and formulas. Spoilers ahead, but then again, if you haven't watched the show, then go
do it! Just do it!
Find the One Piece if you need to. For a quick run-through of the cast, Andy Daly as Ron, H. John Benjamin as the narrator, and Curly Berger, Haley Zhu, Lila Crawford, Zach Timson, Bentley Green and Adam Hutchester as themselves and or a historical figure. Wait, it's supposed to be Curly Burger, not Berger? Are you serious? After the Netflix logo, every episode starts off with a Star Wars-esque title crawl explaining how
The following stories are all based on actual events, except of course where it's obvious that they aren't. Like when two historical figures who weren't alive at the same time appear in a rap video together. Like when people from centuries ago use a webcam to give hot hair tips. When an ancient pharaoh wears a turtleneck and gives a PowerPoint presentation. When a queen's severed head...
Cut to an establishing shot of HQ where the two main guests are named after a bit of banter with Ron and their respective characters, be them the kids, other historical figures, and or specifically Bruce Lee, who Ron keeps on trying to get onto the show but never can.
Wow!
Theme song, character introductions, sketches and skits, wall joke segments, musical numbers, behind the set skits, other, and wrapping it all up with a Ron's Rap Room, where the moral message of the episode is spelled out for those who still haven't developed their critical thinking skills. That's not a joke, by the way, I needed these. Small animated interview with each guest, credits roll with an instrumental of the main theme, with some final bloopers, outtakes, and jokes very occasionally, and that's an episode. Aside from the mainline formula, to elaborate on other, episode 2 introduces the Explanatonator, played by John Hodgman, who Ron uses to explain concepts the kids don't get whenever they ask him practically any question behind set. Mr. Tidbits, played by Brian McCann, the fun fact guy of the show, debuts in episode 2 as well.
They call me that because I provide useful tidbits of information.
Tut Tidbits, his cousin, debuts in episode 3 and does the same thing but for King Tutankhamun specifically, also played by McCann. And last but maybe least, episode 9 introduces animated Sarah Vowell, who comes out of a pie whenever anybody gets a fact wrong about history.
I'm swamped.
Okay, now back to the finale. You know, the thing we're here for. Julius Caesar takes over Who HQ, and Brucey is finally able to get an episode half to himself. Yada 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 blah blah blah, you watch the show, and it all ends with the scene I showed in the cold open. Bloopers, interview, confirmation of a season 2 that, well, never happened, credits, and that's season 1.
They didn't get a season 2?
Yeah! C minus. Affectionate. If the second season existed, it would be an A minus or plus, but that's our job, so let's do it to it. Joining me are my slaves, Norcon Kamal, my downward spiral.
Wait, that wasn't in my job description.
And Levi, your local human.
But it was in my job description. Or was it?
They've been here since episode 1, and together, we are essentially making a fanfic. And by we, I mean 90% me, 10% both of them combined. Not that they were lazy, they just didn't have the time. They both have school, whereas I'm in special ed. I'm the brains, Norcon's the brawn, and Levi's the... id. If I worked at a Goodwill, I'd call him the comic relief, but he's the reason there are vine booms in episode 1.
Don't put the blame on me.
And so am I, because I let him put them in there.
Put the blame on me.
You can fix this fixer-upper up with a little bit of love.
Finish the fight, decide who gets the grapes, renovate Hugh HQ for season 2, add new historical characters into the mix, preferably from the original books, and just for Adam's own personal satisfaction, implement Dallas Louis, the actor for Bruce Lee, into the main cast, bringing the total number of main historians from a classic 7 to a fighting 8.
Let's go from most simple to most complex. To add Dallas to the main cast is as easy as having him just appear with the others in the rap room like he was always there, say something that adds to the conversation, and they all react accordingly. For grapes, it's Ron. It's gotta be Ron.
But maybe he shares it with Bruce. I mean, the boss deserves it after the humiliation he's been through.
And Bruce deserves it because he was right on the money when he said he would win the fight, no contest.
Why?
Well, even if Julius could throw a mean right hook, he isn't Bruce Lee. His nickname was literally Little Dragon, or The Dragon, for short. He's winning that fight, and I want that fight to be good. A serious choreographed fight might sound a bit stupid and tone-deaf for a history comedy sketch show, but I don't care. Imagine a combo of Fist of Fury's first and final fights, and a bit of Enter the Dragon. Yep, I did my homework, though not able to do all of it. I think I've established here that the way I watch things is piracy. But Way of the Dragon had issues with the subtitle timing and I couldn't find a platform that had it done right, and gave up. Never mind, I just watched it dubbed. Oh, and by the way, the cat thing does happen in the final confrontation, and it happens before the fight and then to start the fight too.
He's fighting Chuck Norris, by the way. This movie rocks, go watch it. I haven't seen it, but I had someone shut up about the cat.
Renovating UHQ also entails getting the other historical characters back to base. I know a few of them were in the background of a few scenes, but let's just say that they got bored and started wandering New York City and then shh. But wait, they didn't know about this. Who tells them about the historical characters being missing? Why, it's Jesus Christ, of course. He's the guest for this episode. And so is Walt Disney. Perfect. Again, I'm a pirate, so me and Nurkon were scouring the Internet Archive for a copy of any Who Was book when I saw the title Who Was Jesus Christ come up on Wikisource and had a brain blast. Then I began scouring the internet for free Who Was books and found some on Amazon, but not for free. And then the sequence of events that happened after amount to just... Why is there a Who Was book on Taylor Swift on Amazon? Why are they still going? Okay, the Jesus book is real, but why is the hardcover so much money? There's one on Walt Disney, there's one on The Rock, there's one on Ariana Grande, Simone Biles, Michelangelo... Oh, never mind. Before making a very bold choice.
Nurkon. Do you want to do something really stupid?
Like what?
You buy Who Was Walt Disney, I'll buy Who Was Jesus.
Fuck it. Why not? Why not?
Alright. Alright.
Charge it
okay.
on the card.
Mom!
That's all the information you're getting, so let's now move on to...
A walking contradiction. It's me, from the future. I'm currently in bed right now because, due to the stress I've endured making this episode, my body has begun to turn on me, and I'd rather you not see me in this kind of state. I don't have much written for this section, but I do want to just say some things, I think. This took a while. This section took longer than I wanted it to get done. Reason being, remember when I said that they weren't lazy, they just didn't have the time? And I really meant it. They could get quite busy. It wasn't awful compared to the meetings we had when it came to singing the ending song, because as you know, or should have picked up on, every episode's gonna have an ending song. But it was enough to where the gap between part 1 of the reading and part 2 of the reading is over months. By reading, I mean Borat, gift of pornographic monkey to Vice Premier Michael Pence to make benefit recently diminished nation of Kazakhstan. I'm sorry. A dramatic reading of the Who Was Show Season 2 pilot episode script's first draft, with added pre-recording, recording, and post-recording commentary written by Adam and Chris Mithoven with help from Nurkon Kamal and Levi Hollingsworth. Laughing hurts. Right now, I'm sort of smiling right now, but it's still laughing and smiling. Other than that, every part of me that can ache is begging me to give you a preface to shield myself of actual criticism. Like explaining some stuff that, if I do explain it, would probably ruin how I present this. But all I will say is, in summary, you have been warned. Enjoy.
Oh yeah, because for every time we read the script, I want us to have some. I want us to play different characters, like a table read.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I want to be the narrator.
I'll be Walt Disney.
Who wants to be Ron?
I'll be Ron. Yes.
Who wants to be Bruce Lee?
Nah.
Nah. You do it.
And then how about we all be the kids in unison?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Let's get this thing on the road.
Starts!
The following stories are all based on actual events, except of course where it's obvious that they aren't.
Like when a prolific preacher stars in a classic sitcom. Zap! The screen goes full black like an old TV. Hard cut to the next shot. Clips from episode 13 of season 1 begin to play in rapid succession before finally coming back to the freeze frame. And once again, it's time to decide. Who will survive the Battle of Blue HQ? Who will rescue Ron? And who will get to eat those grapes? Wait, who's gonna be Julius Caesar? We forgot.
I'll be Caesar.
Alright. It's time to find out in 3, 2, 1. The freeze frame finally unpauses as both Julius Caesar and Bruce Lee go tumbling into each other and Ron, knocking each other back. The grapes flying in slow motion before falling back into Ron's shaky hands as he narrowly catches it.
My grapes!
Julius reaches out for the food in the boss's hands, the man shaking his head and lurching back beside the ready-for-action Bruce.
No, you've been mean. I'm not gonna give you these.
Bruce looks over to the grapes. Mind if I have one? Ron beams, nodding.
Of course you can, Brucey.
Ron gives the movie star a friendly punch as the two sides frame Julia's slowly crumpling expression in the middle of a medium shot. But before the two can get to snacking on those delicious sour grapes, Julius, in an enraged state, shouts for the guards to get the two in a close-up shot of his face.
Guards, seize them.
A medium shot of the 4 guards beside his throne, quickly walking into the formation in front of the chair, jolts to another medium shot, this time of Ron and Bruce as the guards raise their spears in preparation for a fight.
Oh, not again.
Bruce shields the cracker with one hand, stepping forward to the guards. Don't worry, Ron, I'll handle them.
Oh, thank goodness.
Ron sighs as he walks out of the door, yawning.
I'm gonna take a nap.
The kids watch him walk past them before turning back to Bruce as the guards surround them. Everyone together now? You need any help, Bruce?
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on, continue.
In a close-up shot frame from behind him, Bruce doesn't look back. He just shakes his head. No, don't worry. And pops open his placket in a super close-up shot of the hand, quickly opening it to reveal a white vest. I've got this. You just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
I did not
know
what I was going to do.
You said yes.
You said yes. You just notice he speaks. Me too.
Oh, me too. Me 3.
Me 4th. I did not teach you guys anything useful in this situation.
Anything useful in this situation. Me 5th.
Me 5th.
This is not gonna work.
No, wait. Pause. Wait, no, pause. Me 5th. No, me 5th. Doesn't matter. Alright.
I think it's funny though.
Bruce then. It's funny, alright, it really is. Bruce then gets to it. A quick snappy punch to one guard sends a spear right into Bruce's hand, before a roundhouse kick knocks him out. The other guards quickly stab their spears right at him, the Chinese man using his spears to block and throw each one off of him, alongside a snap of kicks that spun him around. He grabbed each of their spears and snapped them into pieces, keeping his own in his hand, the camera halting its dynamic shot changes, coming to a stop in a comfortable full shot. Arani, are those fists of yours any stronger than these pieces of junk? Finally, Julius is back in on the action, lunging at Bruce again, the dragon quickly spinning around, the wood of the spear stabbing him by the blade. Bruce tumbling down from the weight of the impact before rolling and flipping away from Julius.
Julius.
Julius!
Well, how about you try on this size? Size? You mean size, right? Mr. Karate
Size,
Man.
yeah.
Karate Man.
Bruce clenches his fist and gets moving, dodging each slice of the sword in a circle of onslaught. A guard lunges at Bruce back from out of frame, before getting knocked out with a sharp kick. His brother-in-arm's getting a taste of a knife hand from the Asian as he slides to his side, before being taken out with a sharp kick to the floor. Gosh, you guys suck without your weapons, like little babies playing with their food. Bruce chuckled. Blocking a weak punch from one soldier with his forearm before backhanding him and punching him to the floor, before grabbing the final guard as he tried to jump at him before pushing the Roman off, him stumbling back onto his feet, not able to react as a flurry of 5 sharp punches followed by a swift uppercut and a roundhouse kick sent him out cold onto the floor. Bruce regained his bearings, breathing like a dog. The camera spins around him, revealing only Julius left, his sword shining, the stench of his rage permeating every nose. Saving yourself for last?
Just wanted to prepare you. give you a little taste of what I'm made of.
Yes, you got it!
Sonic Heroes.
Bruce scoffs and rolls his eyes. He widened his stance, ready for one final lunge. The camera zoomed into his eyes with a gong sound effect. Julius did the same, the camera zooming into his mouth with an eagle sound effect. The air was thick, the silence marbled. They breathed in and out. In and out. In and out. I want to eat at an in and out. Bruce yelled out one final battle cry.
Yell out one
Julius screamed
final
like an
battle
eagle.
cry.
Julius screamed like an eagle, and they jumped for one final hit as the camera spun around them as they moved in slow motion. And with one final punch, Bruce won! The two fell right back onto the ground, Bruce standing triumphantly above a now groaning Julius Caesar. The four guards all in the same predicament.
Fine. You win, Chinaman.
Racist.
Call me that, dude. Julius waddles back upright, held up by his men as they walk out of frame too. Where the hell do I want to go?
Retreat! Retreat! Retreat!
His voice slowly got farther away, and Bruce sighed, before turning back to the kids as they embraced him in celebration. Who HQ was back in business! Ron came back into the room, yawning.
What did I miss?
Lila turned to Ron, still cheering. Bruce
won!
The room was retreated! Ron threw up his arms in celebration.
Aye, I knew you'd do it!
Ron cheered, giving Bruce a big hug. Bruce returning the enthusiasm. Oh, it wasn't just me. It was all of you guys too, he praised, pulling back from the hug before stepping back, looking around at the group. Too many backs. Without you kids' support, I wouldn't have won that one.
Aww.
That's
not true.
That's not true.
That's not gonna work.
It's funny though, let's continue.
Everybody chuckles. Everybody chuckles. Guffawing before Ron speaks giddily.
Well, now that we're free of the Roman readings, you all know what we've got to do now, right?
Season 2?
Season 2!
Everyone cheers again. The act is just very cathartic, I guess.
Right, ready? At the same time. 3,
2, 1.
Looks like we've got a lot on our plates.
Hey, this is it. 50 new scripts now to work on. At least 52 sets and skits and songs to work on. We'll have to make a new joke and all new characters. And then too, what characters do we even pick? What themes are we gonna do? Are we even gonna do themes anymore?
Going to do themes anymore.
Ron scoffs at the amount of things they've got to do.
Gosh, that's a lot. Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ appears right behind him, hands on Ron's shoulders, leaning over his side with a pooping grin. You called, baby boy?
Boys? No, that's me. You called, baby
Oh, right,
boy?
sorry, I'm so sorry.
You
sorry,
called,
okay.
baby boy?
That never happened. Continue.
You called, baby boy?
Everybody in unison. Jesus Christ of
Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Okay, I know what you're thinking. No, I don't. I hope you understand why I'm pausing it there. That was 10 minutes. But don't worry, I'm not gonna put the entire reading behind a paywall or something like that. I'm gonna get that done in its own standalone video, probably a few weeks after this episode is published. I hope. I don't know. I at least hope you enjoyed the little snippet I showed. I mean, not a little snippet, just 2 minutes again. But I hope you enjoyed it, because I sure did enjoy making it, and Norcon and Levi sure did enjoy reading it. I hope it made you laugh, at least. Did you laugh? No? Yeah, that's my fault too. Oh, and by the way, I should mention, if you want to read ahead already, link in description for the full script.
Most kinds of art have this sort of magical thing of, for a moment, there's a kind of reconciliation and communion between you and me that isn't possible in any other way. And I think despite how general of a feeling that can be, that it's beautiful. And you may not think that. You may you mean okay. But making that moment, memory and feeling, in my eyes, is something all should experience at least once or twice in the time we have, in whatever form it takes. Be it making a scuffed, wonky first draft of a script to revive a show you wished got a second season, or even petitioning that second season into existence with all your fellow fans, including people like Harold.
It has been 5 years too long. I was a wee lad when the question, who will eat the grapes, consumed my mind. I yearned for more comical and inspiring educational episodes about historical figures. However, it pains me to think that the show will not grace the minds of young children much like myself who yearn for knowledge and entertainment. Alas, it has been years since I last saw the battle for the grapes begin and faithfully never end. The grapes are rotten, gathering dust, forgotten by the world, but eat by people like myself who are raised by this show, hopefully looking for a resolution with childlike awe and wonder still with a spark in our eyes. But now, that spark has faded along with the hope of an end. Who would win? Who will eat the grapes? I beg of you, bring back the nostalgia, education, comedy, and renew the sense of wonder and joy this show brought for so many people over the years. Been watching Lord of the Rings recently.
Link in the description. Go sign it. For Harold, at least. And that's all there is to say. My name has been Adam, you've been watching Kabuki, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember, if you try, you can do anything. Yeah. Feeling good. Feeling good. He is... no... Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. But most times better than the master of one. Okay. Should I do this standing up or should I do this? You know what? Let's just. Okay, you know. Let's. Okay, whatever happens.
You
happens.
stop screen sharing. You need to screen share.
Bang bang, knock on the door. Another big bang, get down on the floor. Oh no, what do we do? Don't look now, but I lost my shoe. I can't run and I can't kick. What's the matter, babe? Are you feeling sick? What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter, you? What's the matter, babe? Are you feeling blue? Oh 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 oh.
And that's for all of time.
Ooh, I look just like Buddy Holly. Oh, oh, and you'll marry Tyler Moore. I don't care what they say about us anyway. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that.
Shit.
Boom.
We're done. Oh my god. We're done.
That fucking sucked, but we're using it.